Hello and welcome to Selection Sunday. Let me get myself a frame. Selection Sunday alongside my colleague Stephen Curtis. How we doing?
It's a great day, isn't it, to unveil the 87th College Basketball Championship Selection Show.
Why not get started? We're going to go to the East region as we separate a little bit.
Yep.
We're going to go to the East region. Take us there.
And the East
Mr.
region,
Cortez.
the number one overall seed, the Duke Blue Devils.
There we
Out
go.
of the ACC, the tournament champions, led by the Boozer Boys. Who will they play? They will take on Siena, the champions out of the Metro Atlantic Conference. They are the 16th seed. They will play Duke in Greenville, South Carolina.
And now we're going to go to our bids. So we got Ohio State as the number 8 seed, and they're going to go up against... We'll see. That's the anticipation. TCU.
What a
Okay,
matchup.
That's a good matchup.
That is a very great matchup for both teams. Great seasons for both Ohio State and TCU. Moving on to the 5-12 game. The 5 seed, the St. John's, the Johnnies, the Big East champions. They took down UConn by 20. Who will they play? Out of the Missouri Valley.
Northern Iowa.
The Northern Iowa Panthers, the 12 seed.
Steve, what do you like about Ohio State and TCU?
What a matchup. I really like both those teams in this bracket. It is an amazing matchup that we're going to see. And the winner of that game plays Duke, most likely. That is a great, that round of 32 matchup.
And look at that. 4-13, Kansas and Cal Baptist.
Great matchup for Cal Baptist after their win against Utah Valley. They win the Western Atlantic Conference Championship and will be moving to the Big West next year.
Heartbreaker for UVU, though. I mean, he had a wide open dunk and couldn't get the job done. As we move on to the 6-11 matchup, Louisville versus South Florida.
Louisville, this is your time to actually prove that you're a very solid team against a very good South Florida team that just won the American today. Very consistent.
A couple hours ago, we moved down to the next game. It's going to be Michigan State going up against the Bison from North Dakota State.
The thing with Michigan State is you cannot count out Izzo in March, and they always make a run. They got bumped from their 2 seed after losing early to one of those Big Ten teams in the Big Ten tournament.
Losing
They
to
get a
UCLA.
3 seed. It was UCLA.
And look at that. Number 7, UCLA going up against the Cardiac Knights in UCF.
This is a big matchup for UCLA. I think UCLA's in a very good spot here in this 7-10 game.
Yeah, and UCLA, though, dealing with a couple injuries. But that will be the matchup. The Bruins against the Knights in Philadelphia.
And then the 2 seed, Dan Hurley's UConn Huskies. The last 3 years, they won 2 national championships. And who will they play?
Well,
We're waiting to find out. In Philadelphia, this will be on Friday. They will take on the 15th seed. Waiting here. The Furman Paladins. And Furman beat Virginia 2 years ago as a 13 seed, knocking off a 4. They are known to having an upset in March.
I will say, though, let's bounce back to Michigan State and North Dakota State. North Dakota State could shoot threes, but can they keep it up defensively against an Izzo squad? That's something we're going to figure out when
And
they play in
Izzo
Buffalo.
always gets his squad ready in March. So we have the East region all filled in, and we don't know any of those last 4 in teams yet. So looking at that, it's all auto bids here for the East region.
Honestly, Duke versus Siena. I don't want to call what's not going to happen, but maybe we see Siena in it a little bit. But I think Duke's going to power away with it real quick.
I think this bracket looks really good for maybe a Duke, UConn, or Michigan State in the Elite 8. Michigan State, UConn, looking at that Sweet 16 game, but you can't count out UCLA at that 7 spot. They're sitting pretty. They're playing against a UConn team that's reeling. And UCLA is playing really good basketball with Mick Cronin, but and they got a Friday draw.
We're back. We're back right here. There we go.
They got a Friday draw.
They did.
And which is going to be very important because you mentioned it earlier, they're dealing with a couple injuries.
Now, UConn, which is all the way down here, against Furman. Furman, they do have that magic in March. For some reason, they just have it.
It's hard against the Dan Hurley team, though, who's proven that he's won national championships. They've made it to Elite Eights. They've made it to Final Fours.
But this matchup that I'm loving is the 7-10. UCLA going up against UCF. That's going to be one heck of a matchup.
How healthy is UCLA going to be? That's going to be the big question.
Can they bring Dent back? That's all that matters right now. But looks like a great start to our brackets, huh?
The East region, it's shaping up to be a Duke, either Michigan State or UConn. It's looking like it could be really chalk.
Yeah.
And you can't count on Kansas because of Bill Self. He's won national championships before, too.
But that's going to do it for the East. And we're going to take a little break. So we're going to go back to our intro screen. And that was the East bracket. We'll bring you back.
Number 2 overall seed,
We don't know.
Arizona. So we're going west, I believe. I believe it's west.
All right. We're back. Arizona, the number 1 seed, and I'm going to guess the West region, but we don't know. Yes, the West region. So let's get going.
The Big 12 champion. They beat Houston, and they won a classic over Iowa State on Friday to even get to the Big 12 championship game. Very dangerous. They'll be playing in San Diego against
LIU, the Sharks. Fins up for every free throw. LIU. So they'll be going up against the Arizona Wildcats. The NEC versus the Big 12 matchup. Let's see who we got for the 8-9.
the Villanova Wildcats out of the Big East. They dropped down to an 8 seed after losing to Georgetown in the Big East tournament. They'll take on the Utah State Aggies, the Mountain West champions. Boy, what a matchup in that 8-9 game.
I tell you what, Utah State's one of those teams where honestly, I don't want to go up against them. And especially, this is going to be one of those games where it's going to be a bracket buster.
They're
These
very
8-9 matchups.
They're very defensive and they can rebound. Watch out for Utah State, the 5 seed. Wisconsin Badgers out of the Big Ten, another Big Ten team. They took it to Michigan on Saturday. Lost a close one.
And they're going to go up against High Point. So High Point making it back to the March Madness tournament as they get a little shot of them celebrating. So it's going to be a Big Ten versus a...
The High Point is a Big South from the Big South. I spy a 12-5 upset here. I really do. People will want to pick this upset in the bracket. I buy it. I really like this High Point team. They've been in the tournament the last 2 years.
My question is, where's Hawaii from the Big West? They're winning their
But we
winning
have
the
the
conference
SEC
title.
champions coming up next. The Arkansas Razorbacks, Coach John Calipari, who's won national championships before. And there's your Hawaii team, the 13 seed. So we'll have Arkansas and Acuff, one of the best players in the country, take on the Big West champion Hawaii Rainbow Warriors.
Hawaii winning the Big West. We'll talk about it later. It's a 6-11 matchup. The BYU Cougars.
AJ Dybonsa, one of the best players in the country, out of BYU, the 6th seed. Who will they play? Will we see one of those last 4 in matchups?
We'll see.
And we will. It's Texas, back in the first 4 for the 2nd year in a row, and the NC State Wolfpack. So that's 2 of those 11 seeds. And NC State was projected to be a 10 or maybe an 11 outside the first 4. Very surprising to see them in the first 4.
I do like this first 4 matchup. We got classic SEC versus ACC matchup.
The 3 seed, the Gonzaga Bulldogs, playing in Portland. They won't have to travel far.
WCC champs, the Bulldogs are. It's their final year in the WCC before they moved on to the Pac-12.
And they'll play Kennesaw State, the champions of Kennesaw State out of the Conference USA. They were a 6 seed in the Conference USA bracket, and they won the conference championship.
Moving on to that 7-10 matchup, we got Miami Hurricanes. We'll wait for the other Miami later.
Miami Florida is the 7 seed in St. Louis. They'll take on Missouri. So Missouri was projected to be in that last 4 in conversation, and they get a 10 seed. Very surprising there. Good matchup for Miami, Florida.
I do like it, and right now, I'm seeing a lot of 50-50 matchups. And for the West region, the 2 seed, the Purdue Boilermakers, they won the Big Ten
Over Michigan.
30 minutes ago. Over the Wolverines. They'll be facing Queens.
Queens, their first appearance in the March Madness tournament out of the Atlantic Sun. They go to take on the big dogs of Purdue. So that is the West region, and what stands out to you?
What stands out to me? Hear me out. Hawaii did not get a good draw whatsoever. Arkansas is one of those teams where they're not going to let you slide, and that's really a matchup that really didn't go the Rainbow Warriors'
It's
way.
a very tough matchup for them, and that's probably going to be a late night game as well in Portland. And Arkansas is playing with their hair on fire right now. They're playing with Acuff dropping 30 points and 11 rebounds. They're playing very confident.
Go up here, the 8-9 matchup. Villanova, Utah State.
What a matchup.
That's a great
My
matchup.
Goodness.
You don't see a lot of Big East, Mountain West action, huh?
No, you don't. And I see Utah State actually winning this game. I really do, because Villanova is kind of skidding their way into the tournament. Utah State just won the Mountain West.
Gonzaga, Kennesaw State. Can the Owls keep up with the Zags offense? I don't really know.
Well, Gonzaga lost to Portland earlier this year as well, and they struggled against Santa Clara, who we're waiting to see if they make the field.
This Miami-Missouri matchup looks great on paper.
It does. I also think Miami could beat Purdue as well. I really like where Miami's placed. Miami is a very good shooting team. They won, I think, 8 games last year in the ACC. What a big turnaround to win in 25. I mean, they have 8 losses. They only have 8 losses this year.
And that
it's
2-15
phenomenal.
matchup, Purdue-Queens. Giving Queens the shout-out out of the A-Sun, first ever tournament appearance.
First ever tournament appearance, but it's going to be a tall order going against a Purdue team that just won the Big Ten.
That's one heck of a west side of the bracket, huh?
Yeah, it's awesome. And Arizona's sitting pretty. I really like where Arizona is. I expect them to get to Indianapolis.
Very favorable bracket for Arizona. So it looks like they're road to the Final Four, barring a huge upset from LIU. should be pretty smooth sailing.
I mean, we've had upsets in the past with Purdue even losing to Fairleigh Dickinson. Fairleigh Dickinson was a first 4 team.
Yeah. So that's going to do it for the west side of the bracket. We're going to take a little break, go to the little intro. Hello, we got Midwest action now.
The Midwest region.
Who you want to see out of this side of the bracket?
I'm waiting to see who's going to be either those last 2 teams that are going to be the last 4 in. I'm waiting to see where Miami, Ohio ends up. If Auburn could potentially make the field out of a shocking
I think we see Miami out of Miami, Ohio right here, actually. I think we see them in the Midwest side of the bracket. But one way to find out, and that's see the bracket as it gets revealed.
Right now, the number 1 team.
Let's go to the bracket.
In the Midwest region, the Michigan Wolverines. The Big Ten runner-ups, 31-3 on the season, a dominant season. They ran through everybody in one of the opening tournaments of the year and beat UConn in the final. They beat some really good teams on the way over there.
And they'll be going up against, well, a first 4, UMBC and Howard. So it looks like UMBC making it back out of the American East.
So that game will be on Tuesday because the Michigan game will be on Thursday.
Yeah, so it'll be a MEAC matchup.
Yep. The Georgia Bulldogs, the 8 seed, out of the SEC. And I'm surprised that they got an 8 seed.
Oh, and there we go. Out of the A-10, the St. Louis Billikens. They had a good hot streak in the beginning of the season, but they toned it down a little bit.
They've really cooled off. They're 5-5 in their last 10. Struggling, but make the field. And congratulations to the Billikens. We'll see them in Buffalo, New York on on that Thursday matchup. They play
moving on
against
to-
the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, moving on to Tampa, Florida for the Midwest region. It's number 5 seed, the Texas Tech Red Raiders.
And the Red Raiders are going to get their key player back, and they're going to be dangerous again out of the Big 12.
And they'll be going up against a MAC team.
The Akron Zips.
Oh, Akron, they played well, and they were actually the ones that were projected to win the MAC in the beginning of the season. So they'll be making their March Madness appearance against Texas Tech.
What a matchup here. Now, this is a really tough pick for the 5-12 game.
And the number 4 for this 4-13 matchup, it's going to be the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Nate Oates, you're either going to score 100, but give up 80. That's just the Alabama formula.
And they'll be going up against Hofstra.
The Hofstra Pride make an appearance, and they're going to play against Bama. They can score,
Yeah.
and they can keep up. This could be a very interesting 4-13 game.
Hofstra coming out of the CAA,
The Colonial.
the Colonial. So that's a good first part of the bracket. Let's move down to the bottom. 6-11 matchup in Philadelphia.
The Volunteers of Tennessee, another SEC team. Lots of SEC teams in this side of the Midwest region.
SEC bracket right now. That's what it looks like. And they'll be going up against.
And there's your Miami of Ohio team. They are a first 4 team in Dayton. They will play on Tuesday against SMU.
Out of the ACC.
SMU, the college football playoff. They were the last team in last year. And this year, they're the last team in for March Madness as one of those last 4 in.
That 6-11 matchup happening in Philadelphia. Now we move on to that 3-14. It's going to be the Virginia Cavaliers.
This team is red hot. They're playing really, really good basketball. Very tough team. Who will they play?
Let's see. The 14th seed.
Wright State. How about Wright State and what a season that they've had?
Wright State out of the
Horizon League.
They were clearly the best team in the Horizon.
Yes. 7th seed, the Kentucky Wildcats out of the SEC. Mark Pope and the guys. And there is another team that we were waiting to see. Santa Clara gets in as an at-large.
Yeah, the WCC school. They actually, I want to say, they had a pretty good season
So
in the
now
WCC.
this basically confirms that we have 3 teams in the WCC, with St. Mary's not being on the board yet, but St. Mary's will be in that other bracket.
Yeah, and it's a pretty good turnout for the WCC having 3 bids.
Absolutely.
Number 2 seed, it's Iowa State.
This is a dangerous 2 seed. They're playing really good basketball right now. I love what the Cyclones are doing, and they took it to Arizona Friday in that Big 12 semifinal.
The 27-7 Cyclones. Let's see what they'll be facing on Friday in St. Louis.
The Tennessee State out of the, we check our notes here, the Ohio Valley.
Yeah.
Ohio Valley Conference. Tennessee State will play Iowa State. And that is the 2-15 matchup. And what jumps out at you?
Not going to lie, Kentucky against Santa Clara.
That's a banger.
That's one heck of a matchup. But moving on to the top part of that bracket, Georgia St. Louis, that seems like a banger of a game.
I really like that matchup, actually, because these are 2 teams that are kind of struggling, but one of them is going to make it out and probably play Michigan in that round of 32.
The 5-12, Akron and Texas Tech. That's one heck of a matchup as well. And that's, although it's a 5-12, seems like a coin flip.
It is 100% a coin flip, but guys, I'm going to tell you, for bracket, do not pick this one. I'm serious, because Texas Tech is really good. They're going to be getting one of their stars back. They're a very, very competitive team. And Hofstra, can they keep up with Alabama scoring? I think they can.
Yeah, RMU almost did it last year.
Yes.
So we move down to the bottom part of the bracket.
Miami, Ohio gets in as a first 4, which I've been saying for the last couple of days. Very excited to see them, and they're basically in their backyard in Dayton to play against SMU, a team that people didn't even think that they were going to make it.
You talk
SMU
about
gets
home
in.
court advantage. 31-1, the Red Hawks. The critics were saying that the schedule was messed up and that they didn't face tough competition. But at the same time, it's hard when you don't get these schedules from the big schools. But Miami, Ohio gets in.
It's also really hard to leave out a team that's 31-1.
Yeah, it would go against what the NCAA literally plans.
The best matchup so far for me is Kentucky-Santa Clara.
That's one heck
That
of a
is
matchup.
unbelievable matchup. And I think
That's
I think
another one.
Santa Clara could win that. Really, I really like the
Do
Santa
we say
Clara
that
team.
that could be a bracket buster for sure.
Oh, can they beat Iowa State though? That's a big question. Unless Iowa State gets bounced early, because Michigan has shown now as of late that they're vulnerable. Iowa State is playing really good basketball. I think they could actually be that team that gets to Indianapolis.
And remember, for the people who don't know, the first four starts this week.
Starts on Tuesday.
First four starts on Tuesday, and the first round right here starts on Thursday, correct?
Yep. We'll have 2 games on Tuesday, 2 games on Wednesday, and then 16 on Thursday and 16.
And if you move a little bit
Friday.
over here, you could see the national championship on April 6th, all the way on the bottom.
In Indianapolis.
In Indianapolis. So we'll see the last part of the bracket. We'll be right back. We're back for the South region.
The final region.
And look who's number one. The Florida
defending
Gators.
Champions, Florida Gators. Tough loss to Vanderbilt on Saturday in the semifinal, but they are still the number 1 seed in the South region.
All right, so we'll take you guys to the bracket so you guys can see. But Florida, number 1 in Tampa, and they're going to be going up against, well, a first 4. Prairie View A&M going up against Lehigh on Tuesday.
Prairie View A&M, the champions out of the SWAC, and
Lehigh.
Lehigh, the champions out of the
Patriot
League.
Yes.
The 8th seed, Clemson Tigers out of the ACC.
Oh, this is going to be an ACC Big Ten matchup here.
And they're playing
Iowa
Hawkeyes.
Yeah, the Iowa Hawkeyes. The 21-12 Hawkeyes. And now let's see the next one. It's Clemson. That's Iowa. It's going to be the 5 seed. It's going to be Vanderbilt. They're going to be going up against
McNeese. Oh my gosh, what a matchup. Oh my goodness, this is an amazing 5-12 game. McNeese, a 12 seed last year, they beat Clemson.
Yeah, and honestly,
A dangerous 12 seed.
They are dangerous. let's see the 5 seed. Well, the 6 seed actually.
Four.
The 4
It's
seed.
the 4 seed. Nebraska Cornhuskers started off the season really hot. One of the last undefeated teams remaining. They're kind of skidding here as a 4 seed. They'll play Troy. The Troy Trojans out of the Sun Belt. And you can't sleep on these Sun Belt teams.
No, Troy. They have really good offense. So it's a potential for an upset there.
The 6th seed, the Tar Heels of North Carolina out of the ACC, and Hubert Davis. And this is the standard for North Carolina, just to keep on making the NCAA tournament, keep winning games.
Yeah, the Jordan School. That's what they call it. The basketball school, they make it back to the tournament. They'll be playing in Greenville, South Carolina.
And VCU is the 11, the Virginia Commonwealth. I see an upset here. I really like what Virginia Commonwealth has done, and they ran through the A-10.
Yeah, Virginia Commonwealth getting that win over Dayton, and Dayton was really never in it. So that's going to be the matchup for the 6-11. We move on to the 3-14 in Greenville. The 3 seed being, well, this is awesome. We went for CBS
Get
now.
patient. Illinois Fighting Illini out of the Big Ten. The 3 seed. Brad Underwood and his team, they always make a run.
Yeah, Illinois is one of those teams we don't want to be going up against. And look who's number 14. We got the Penn Quakers.
The Penn Quakers with TJ scoring 44 points. TJ Potter, 44 points in the championship game against Yale to advance Penn to the South region and in the NCAA tournament as a whole. They got Illinois. This is a pretty good draw for Penn.
Yeah. We move on to the number 7 seed. That's who you're talking about. St. Mary's getting in.
The Gales of St. Mary's, and oh my, they get a matchup with the Texas A&M Aggies out of the SEC.
Unreal.
What a
That's
game
good
that's
matchup
going to
as
be in
well.
Oklahoma City.
And the number 2 seed is Houston. And they'll be playing Oklahoma City. And just a nice little throwback. 10 years ago, CSUB, they made their debut in the tournament in Oklahoma City. Just saying.
And it was in a 2-15 game where the Idaho Vandals, first time in a long time that they've made the tournament, out of the Big Sky, they will play the Houston Cougars.
I mean, south side of the bracket, can we just say it? The tournament bracket is perfect.
I love this bracket because there are so many upset chances here. I think McNeese could upset Vanderbilt. I think Troy could beat Nebraska.
Clemson, Iowa is again one of those coin
That's a coin flip
games.
games because both teams are kind of sliding. They're not playing their best basketball right now.
Amir Oricon for McNeese. Although he doesn't play on the court. I mean, there has to be
He has
something.
Oricon. It's Oricon. And I think Clemson is favored over Iowa. I really like what
Nebraska,
Clemson's been able to
Troy.
do.
I think it's right here. Nebraska, Troy. That's a good matchup.
That's a
These
really
Sun
good
Belt
matchup.
teams can hoop.
Yeah, they can. And Nebraska's, like I said, they've been skidding.
Hey, Illinois Penn seems like one of those potential upset games.
I think this is an upset side of the bracket because you got VCU North Carolina too. What a game that's going to be. VCU can get boards. They can shoot the 3. They're very effective.
Tough draw for Idaho getting Houston. Houston's mad over what happened in that Big 12 tournament.
Oh, Houston's going to come into the season pissed
tournament.
off.
So,
It's tournament pissed.
well, I mean, they lost the Natty off of a pretty awful play. But this bracket's incredible.
I love what they did this year with the bracket. The St. Mary's A&M game is also really good in that
It is.
7-10 game.
And that feels like
Man.
an 8-9 matchup.
That does.
It does. It feels like one of those coin flips, too. But, hey, let's talk about the SWAC. Prairie View A&M getting in.
As
Unreal.
an 8 seed, they won 5 games in 5 days.
So, let's get to the hot topics. Auburn not getting in. I think it's justified.
I'm not surprised, and having 16 losses, it's just too many losses. Now we see the first 4 out. Oklahoma, Auburn, San Diego State, and Indiana are the teams that did not get in. So according to what it looks like here, Miami, Ohio was the last team in the field at 31-1.
I think it's ridiculous, and it shows a major disrespect to these mid-major schools.
I agree. At least they got in the field, that's going to be a good game against SMU.
First 4 out, Oklahoma, they're the 48th net rank. San Diego State, 47th net rank, and Indiana, 41st rank.
And Miami, Ohio was 64 and got in because of the 31-1 wins. They won all those close games, and it was just enough to get them in the field.
It goes back to the question, what's more important, ranked wins or just winning in general? And in college sports, it should be winning in general.
I think it would be just an outrage just for the entire basketball community, because if you leave out a 31-1 team just because you didn't win your conference tournament, it's basically the committees basically would be telling us that all that matters is the conference tournament. It doesn't matter if you win any of these regular season games.
Exactly.
But that's why I think they justified this decision to put Miami, Ohio in the field.
And for people who are saying Auburn should have gone in, honestly, just win more games. You're an SEC school.
Auburn had a quad 3 loss, and I think that was
Exactly.
enough. That was enough to leave them out.
Who's the hottest team going into this tournament?
Oh, man. Purdue looks good.
They're hot.
I like St. John's a lot. I
They
really
get a win
like
over
that
UConn
team.
in the Big East final.
And they won by 20.
did.
They're playing really confident basketball. I like Arizona. I like Duke. I think it could be a lot of chalk, but I think that South region looks wild for upsets.
Yeah, it does. It's primed for the lower seeds to get a W. And honestly, this whole it's upset season right now.
It is.
So let's try to get an actual upset this year. Last year there wasn't an upset.
Last year
at
was all chalk, and the thing is, and the reason why it's happening is because the conference tournaments are taking out the 1 seeds themselves. Where we
Taking out
had
the better teams.
15 number 1 seeds not make March Madness because they were taken out in their conference.
But the argument for that could simply be just win your conference tournament.
Absolutely.
So, and obviously we're going to CSUB, a Big West school. Hawaii getting out of the Big West, I think it was warranted.
And Hawaii is going to get a very good Arkansas team where Acuff is one of the best players in the country. Even Coach Calipari said that is the best freshman guard I have ever coached. And that's big from Coach Calipari, who's won national championships at Kentucky.
It's going to be brutal, though, going up against that Razorback squad, especially coming out of the Big West. But Hawaii, this is their final year in the Big West, moving to the Mountain West.
And they're moving to the Mountain West, and that's a very big jump for them because San Diego State's good. But, I mean, some of those teams are going to be leaving to the Pac-12 anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Fresno State's going to be leaving, and it's just going to be a very good move for Hawaii.
And in terms of the Big West,
Money-wise.
the 2 finalists for the WAC, Cal Baptist and UVU, are coming to the Big West along with Shack State.
And UVU was the number 1 seed in the WAC. So you're taking the 2 top seeds in the WAC. You're taking them to the Big West. This is exactly what happened with Cal State Bakersfield when they were winning in 2017, 2018. They were in that 1 seed, 2 seed conversation before they moved to the Big West.
We'll have Final Four predictions with a whiteboard. So that should be fun. We'll be right back.
Absolutely. Man.
This is going to be fun. And we're back on the Selection Sunday show. And we got a whiteboard now. We're gonna bring it a little bit more over here. Yeah.
There we go.
We got it in the studio. Studio looks
Yeah,
kind
we
of
do.
sick though.
It's awesome. And what is that toughest region?
All right. Well, why not see the regions first?
Yeah.
We're gonna start off with the East bracket. Oh,
We got the East
there we go.
bracket
East
here.
bracket. Caught me off guard.
I really like with Duke and the big four in there are so loaded. Duke and UConn and Michigan State and Kansas.
St. John's in
They're
it as well.
blue bloods. I didn't mention St. John's. St. John's they're playing their best basketball right now. They're one of the hottest teams in this tournament.
St. John's going to win over UConn. So that's going to be the East. Let's go to the West. The West looks a little bit light, don't you?
Very favorable for Arizona, but potential Gonzaga-Purdue Sweet 16 matchup,
Sounds beautiful.
and maybe even Arizona-Arkansas.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the Midwest. That Midwest, we got Michigan in there, along with, well,
Bama against the Hofstra Pride, and you got the Kentucky-Santa Clara matchup.
Yeah.
I think is the best matchup in the second round. period.
Iowa State. 2 words, Iowa State, Michigan. They're on your side of the region. You got problems. But again, that East region is looking the most difficult.
You're looking at Midwest. You're looking at Virginia there. Virginia's playing really well.
They
They're
are
playing
playing good
very
basketball.
confident basketball. They lost a tough one to Duke yesterday. I really like what Virginia's been able to do. And who is the coach? It's the former UMBC coach that beat Virginia. So
Yeah.
that coach has experience of winning big games in March.
And now let's see that last part of the bracket, which would be the South, correct?
That is the South region. And Florida, they took a tough loss, but they're the defending national champs for a reason.
Fate is saying it's going to be Florida, Houston in that Elite Eight.
I can't believe that's an Elite Eight matchup. It was a national championship game last year.
Exactly. But again, not as difficult. So if we go back to our whiteboard, I mean, toughest region is pretty simple for me. It's going to have to be the East region for sure. So write the East down.
You could probably write the East for me too.
Yeah.
There's nothing but blue bloods in that region. Let's talk about Duke with John
Bring it
Shea.
forward. There we go. Bring this little guy forward.
We got Duke with John Shea, UConn's Dan Hurley, Michigan State's Tom Izzo, Kansas Bill Self, St. Joseph with Rick Pitino. I mean, these are legendary coaches.
We're going to have to move it back. We're getting cut off by the frame. There we go.
These are legendary coaches that are all top 5 seeds. Only one is going to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But we move on to the weakest region. It's got to be the West.
It's got to be the West region for me. I really like what Arizona, they're the top team in that region. Don't count out the Zags, though, because Mark Few has had some of those teams that just goes on runs. Gonzaga is very dangerous.
All right, let's go to our upset pick of the tournament. What do you have?
Oh, man. We can go to that. Let's go to that South region, which I think is upset city. And
so?
I think your top upset pick here, I think Nebraska is going to get beat by Troy. I think Troy is going to upset Nebraska because Nebraska has not played good basketball as of late. Troy out of the Sun Belt was the #1 seed in the Sun Belt. I really like this Troy team. I don't think Nebraska is going to make a run. I think Troy upsets them.
You know, sometimes in March, you just go off the team who has that magic. Watching that Ivy League game today, Penn chucking up a 3 with half a second left?
How about Potter with 44 points?
Exactly. I'm going to have to go with these Ivy League kids, man. They're going to get the upset over Illinois. I think Penn's going to do it.
I think this is a great upset pick, too. Just, you can't count on any of the Ivy League schools because, let's talk about Auburn 2 years ago. They were projected to be in the national championship. They got bounced by Yale. Yale's also beaten Baylor in the past. These Ivy League schools,
They can ball.
they can ball, 1, and 2, they're known for making upsets in March.
Just think about it. You're an Ivy League student. You go to an Ivy League. So you study, you're smart, you ball, and you beat big Power 4 schools. That's how Ivy League basketball works. Final 4 predictions are going to come up next because we're going to do a little bit of adjusting here.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back for Final 4 predictions. We're back. It's time. We choose our Final Four for Indianapolis 2026.
Who's going to Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis?
And I tell you what, I'm starting it off out of the East region, correct?
Yeah, the toughest one.
With Duke and UConn, I got Dan Hurley's squad of UConn.
Really? That's bold. That's really bold. And I think
Huskies.
I think UConn is really struggling right now in that East. That East region is going to be really tough. I don't think UConn gets there. There's no way. There's no way.
Who do you have coming out of the East?
Out of the East, I got Duke. I think they're the best team. I just think they're the best team all season. And the Boozer guys, they're gonna take advantage of it. I really like what Duke's doing. I think Duke gets out of there.
Now I'm going to move on to the Florida side of the bracket, which is the
South region.
South region. I got them going back.
Florida Gators.
I got the Gators going back to the Final Four. Now, do they win a natty? Well, we'll find out right
We're
now.
only gonna find out.
But who do you have going to the Final Four?
So, okay, I really like Houston. And the thing is with Sampson, his teams are really good and they always find a way to make a run. I think Houston gets back. I really like this Houston team. Houston gets to the Final Four.
Now I'm going to move on to this West region. And again, I don't think it's close at all.
Interesting. Okay, we got AZ, Arizona.
Arizona, the
West.
Wildcats coming out of the West.
Out of the West region.
I do think it's going to be Arizona, Purdue in that West.
I think it might be Gonzaga, Arizona.
You think so?
I think so because Gonzaga, it's just coaching. It comes down to coaching, and I think Few has proven that he's been a better coach than Painter in the last few years. Even though both have made natties and lost, I don't think it matters. I think AZ finally shuts everybody up and gets to the Final Four.
Now I'm going to go to this last side of the bracket. Now I'm thinking, do I want to be generic or do I want to take a shot? But here's the thing. With this new March Madness, the NIL era, with all these schools, sometimes there's no reason to take an unnecessary shot. But I think
Iowa State? Okay,
Iowa State.
I really like that because
They're
that's a
hot.
really good pick. But I'm going to be bolder than you.
Boulder, huh?
I think Virginia wins the bracket. I think Virginia gets there. I like UVA right now a lot.
You think so?
And here's why. They just played a game against Duke where they only lost by 2. They're scoring a lot of points, which is rare for UVA because they hold teams down to 55 points and win scoring 65. It's not the Tony Bennett era anymore. This coach has come in and has really brought the intensity. I really like this Virginia team. I think Virginia gets to the Final Four.
Now we get to our national championship predictions. April 6th in Indianapolis.
So you have UConn, Florida. What a game, by the way.
That's a rematch of last year's game, which was a classic.
Yeah, it was.
But if I think about it, Big East, SEC, who's hotter right now? UConn, they come off a loss against St. John's, so they're going to want to make noise, especially after what happened last year. But you know what they say? Once you win something, you got to go back. I think Florida's going back to the
Florida
Natty.
going back to the Natty. And this isn't a bad pick because before the Vanderbilt loss, they've won 12 in a row.
They're hot.
And they're really hot.
Who do you have winning,
Duke or Houston? This is a rematch of last year's Final Four game where Duke blew it. There's no way they blow this again.
You think Duke is going to the Natty?
Duke's going back to the Natty.
Boozers.
I really like what Duke's done. Who will they play, though? You're going to find out
One
after Andrew's pick.
Heck of a matchup in Arizona and Iowa State.
This is a classic from just a couple nights ago
Exactly.
where they just went toe-to-toe in the Big 12 semifinal.
But this has clearly been the year of the Wildcat. I think Arizona's making it to the Natty.
Okay. This is a really hard pick for me because Virginia is playing their best basketball right now.
Mm-hmm.
But Arizona's been so good all
Exactly.
year long. I think it's going to be...
I'm going with consistency, and it looks like you are too.
Duke and Arizona is my natty, which I think this is what America would want to see.
Now we go to the national championships. Florida versus Arizona.
And you have potential to see Florida go
Back to back.
back to back, but you being there in person as well.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to draw the personal out of this because me and Albert the Gator, we were best friends in San Antonio. But I'm not gonna let a silly looking Wildcat tear down a back-to-back national champion.
Oh!
I got the Florida Gators
The Gators
with
win
a
it.
W. Florida, they're gonna win back-to-back. The Natty's going back to Gainesville.
This is the hardest pick of the season for me. Duke and Arizona have been the clear-cut best two teams. You can even throw in there Michigan. These are the clear-cut best teams.
Let me circle mine. Thank you. Sorry, I just want to add emphasis on Florida.
This
There
is
you go.
clear-cut, and it's going to come down to Boozer versus Braden Burries. 2 lottery picks that will be in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best team all year is Duke, and I think they win it all. Give me the Duke Blue Devils.
Duke.
I
So,
think Duke gets it done.
one heck of a show we had here today, huh?
Absolutely, man.
Runtime of about an hour.
Yep.
That's not bad.
Which
actually.
is for a selection show, that's about average runtime. So
And that was fun.
absolutely.
Seeing a bunch of schools see their dreams get made. So, that's going to do it for us on Selection Sunday. Let's push this whiteboard out of the way so we could see the beautiful set. There you go. Let's push it to the side. That's going to do it for us. Wait, push it a little more. Push it a little more. There we go. That's
we
going to
go.
do it. You see on the sides, we have the dates of March Madness. March Madness is here, my friend.
We've made it. We've made it.
We don't sleep this
And-
month.
No, we don't. We have 16 games on Thursday, 16 on Friday. We have the first 4 on Tuesday and Wednesday. This is the year of March where we could have upsets, or we could just have chalk just like last year.
Well, we hopefully don't want chalk. That's going to do it for us. Unfortunately, we're out of time. That was
What a
fun.
show.
That was a good
What
show.
an amazing show.
For Andrew Gonzalez, the broadcast director here at The Runner, sports editor Stephen Curtis, the podcast producer Jonathan Cortez, running it. Yo, get in here. Get in here. Get back here. Because this was not an easy show to produce.
No, it's not.
He typed
Oh
in
my
every
goodness.
single team in the bracket. We'll see you guys.
guys.
Thank you for joining us.
This has been the 87th annual selection show.